giving you a voice,
making it loud our own way.
Welcome to the fun.
We're actually going to move on to the reason why we have Team Appreciate here. So we're going to be looking at their amazing outreach initiatives for their chairman stuff. So the Chairman's Award has heavily evolved over the last couple of years, and what a better way to get tips on how to make your team successful than with our friends from Team 2468 Appreciate. They've won Regional Chairman's Awards 6 years in a row, no big deal. This past year, they were Championship Chairman's Award finalists, which is incredible. And aside from the hardware, this team has been doing some incredible things to help make First loud to others in their community in the coolest ways. So Sonia and Scott, we want to talk about your 3 awesome initiatives that your team does to accomplish the first mission, and just to help prepare teams and individuals for the future. Both Mike's team, 1678, and my own team, 125, along with your team, are all part of the Compass Line. So let's start with that initiative to help, teams within America and abroad remotely. So Sonia, why don't you talk a little bit about First Signing Day first, and then we'll get into some other things.
Yeah, for sure. So a couple of years ago, our team started an initiative called First Signing Day, which is a national event to celebrate first seniors who are moving forward in their academic career or their professional career, and celebrate them for their hard work. It was created in 2016 by one of our mentors who thought that a lot of our robotics kids, all of our robotics kids, work just as hard as athletes do when they sign their letter of intent for college. And so we decided to start First Signing Day, which is a professional signing day for all seniors and first. And we've had over 300 students participate in First Signing Day from 40 different teams. And these students have gone to 60 different colleges and universities. But the cool thing about First Signing Day is not just about the students who are going into college and university, but it's also students who are moving on in their professional career and whatever endeavors come after first. And actually tomorrow is the official Fall National Signing Day for athletes. And so we're happy to announce that First Signing Day this year is going to be in May 21st, 2019. And it's just super simple for teams to do in their own communities and invite parents and their school administrators, local press to really celebrate students in first.
This is pretty awesome. So how does your team specifically do it? So what is your First Signing Day going to look like when you go to do it in May, which I'm sure you're pumped about?
For our First Signing Day, it is held in our school's lecture hall. We set up a big table in the front of the room, and we invite our principals, we invite local press, we invite all parents, all students in our program, and we invite them to come and see our First Signing Day. And we have our parents come take photos. We've actually created a letter of intent that all students sign. Everybody wears a college shirt. It's a really exciting time. And I know as a junior on the team last year, being able to see my friends go through this tradition that we have every year now is really, really it touches my heart. And I'm so excited to do it this year as a senior.
That's really cool. I wish that my team had it when I was in high school. So I know there's a huge kind of following, as you were saying, now that you've done it for a while, of teams that are doing this. Are there any international teams that have done their own signing day?
Not yet, but we're hoping to do that this year. On social media, we're hashtag FSD 2019, hashtag First Signing Day. So it's really something that's catching on, and we really want also international teams to participate, as well as more national teams to participate.
That's really cool. Mike, have you guys done this on 1678 yet?
So we haven't done a signing day yet, but I think it sounds like something we should look a little bit more into. I love the idea of it, and it's such a unique way to celebrate part of what First is all about, which is getting kids inspired to study things they're passionate about, including STEM in higher education. And I think the first signing day is a great example of a creative way to do that. So we'll look into it. I think it's a great idea. And we, just like every other team, we have a lot of seniors to celebrate that are going to go on to do great things because of their involvement with FIRST. So I'm a big fan of this, and we'll look into it for sure.
Yeah, and the cool thing about it is it's just super simple for teams to put on. If it's as simple as setting up a table in your school's cafeteria or a classroom and being able to invite people to come and celebrate those seniors. So it's a really great initiative to not only celebrate for students, but it's an easy thing for students and teams to do across the nation. And
and I think it's a good kind of, not really alternative, but something very similar to like the varsity letter. Because I know in some schools it's panned out where teams can get varsity letters, but in some areas it's just not a possibility. So I think that this is a great way to really recognize the hard work that students have put into the program, like you were saying, sort of like an athlete. But I'm sure that your robotics team students, at least at my high school, we certainly went to more exciting colleges for better reasons than some of the athletes at my school.
And
so Scott,
you probably had more of an opportunity to apply and get a job in the area that you were going to. I mean, it's unfortunate if you look at like NCAA statistics that they're looking at under 1% of students that go into high school end up getting a job in that area, right? Under 1%. So
absolutely. All right. So another thing that you guys are going to be talking about tonight, which I am really excited to hear about, is STEM Connect. So Sonia, can you tell us a little bit about what that is?
Yeah. So STEM Connect is our corporate camp model that we do every summer. What STEM Connect is we hold summer camps at our corporate sponsors' locations for their employees' kids. It's a great way to get our sponsors involved in what we do and also give back to them. And it's a great source of revenue for our team as well, and being able to spread STEM to those kids who may not have seen a robot before or coded a robot before. So we've developed this curriculum. It's week-long camp, and we do it at our corporate sponsors every single year. So we've done camps at Qualcomm, NXP, Intel, and Freescale. And we've been able, this corporate model, we've been able to spread to other teams across the nation as well. Hall of Fame team, the Holy Cows and Falcon Robotics have also adopted this STEM Connect model and have put on summer camps at their locations as well. So it's a really great way to involve our sponsors as well as spread STEM to those kids who could be joining an FLL team after that. So it's really cool, and it's a great initiative that we have as well.
Yeah, we like to think of it as a 5-way win, or even 6-way win if you want to count them the way you count them. But, it's a win for the student who's attending the camp because they have a week of fun, right? It's a win for the student's parents because instead of driving across town to drop their child off at a camp and then driving to work, probably across traffic, and then leaving early and then whatnot, they get to take them to work, drop them off in a conference room, go up and do their work, and then go pick them up. Possibly check in with them during the day, sort of peek in the window, have lunch with them if they have a cafeteria or something like that, right? So, I mean, it reduces stress for the parents. It's a win for the company because the company obviously doesn't have its employees, doing all that extra driving and taking time off work during the summer. And they also get that sort of philanthropic vibe, right, in their community. It's a win for the students who teach the camp, because they get the leadership skills. It's a self-esteem building thing as well. It's a win for the team, obviously, through the fundraising, and fundamentally the community benefits too, right? I mean, the community just develops kids who are just that much more in tune with things. So, I mean, it's a win everywhere around.
I love how you guys are integrating it into the workplace. But do you think that this model that you're using could be kind of applied in other areas? I know some of our corporate sponsors. Well, we have a few corporate sponsors, but I'm not sure if we'd be able to do it necessarily in the corporate area, do you think that this model could easily be dropped into different locations like community centers or schools or, universities?
Yeah, the intent was to try and, you don't necessarily get the parental win there, right? Or the corporate philanthropy. But you're right. We still also run camps at the high school still as well. I mean, we're not solely focused on the corporations, and the corporations obviously have to have a certain population, demographics, et cetera, for you to be able to get that much, to get enough kids to attend the camp, right? So yeah, you can't have it. It doesn't necessarily work with a small company, right? It works with medium sized companies.
Very cool. So the last thing we're going to be talking about as a group would be the Compass Alliance. So the Compass Alliance is a fantastic kind of one-stop shop for any team, student, mentor, or even just a volunteer or parent to benefit from. And it's something that was established last year and has grown exponentially since then. And we're super excited to have another year of the Compass Alliance. So why don't you guys talk about what your experience so far with the Compass Alliance being an alliance partner has been? Sonia, why don't you talk to us about that?
Mm-hmm. We think it's such a great idea to be able to provide resources for teams. I know our programming team has put some resources on the Compass Alliance and have been working on that specifically for LabVIEW and how to program your robot in LabVIEW. So honestly, it's just a great resource for students who are probably new to their programs or just want to learn more. And having this coalition of FIRST teams to be able to provide those resources is a really awesome platform to do that with.
Very cool. And is there anything that you guys are excited to kind of contribute to more this year, or based on your experience last year, like is there anything that you are planning to do with your partnership with the Compass Alliance kind of moving forward this year?
Provide more technical resources, possibly some chairman's resources, outreach resources, and being able to contribute those to the platform would be an awesome thing for us to do.
Yeah, I think that one of the things that I've noticed, at least like going through some of the resources, is that some of the most beneficial kind of details within the resources, like the pathways that can be super long, are just the firsthand experiences and tips from teams like yourself, where, you have your own particular way of, submitting your chairman's award, or just like your mindset or philosophy as a team. Like kind of documenting that process is a huge way to inspire other teams or even get their ideas to grow and go in different directions. So I really hope that you guys do some more kind of like documentation about not just technical things, especially for, my own personal interests. I would love to learn more about what your process has been like as a team, kind of growing into this really successful, like solid foundation of a chairman's award team. So fingers crossed that you guys do that this year.
We could definitely say that our start in chairman's basically came about as a student not necessarily agreeing with coach and defying him and proving coach wrong. So we've been thrilled that Michael had the fortitude for that.
That sounds like an interesting story. So Mike, what is your experience as a team, 1678's experience been like with the Compass Alliance, and where do you see it kind of going this year?
Yeah, it's a really great question. So we were lucky enough to be one of the founding teams of the Compass Alliance. And what was really exciting about this initiative was it was founded by a collection of teams that had a lot of ideas on how to help the FRC community improve in learning and sustainability. And then it took a lot of just hashing out the details to really come to a solid foundation of what the Compass Alliance was going to be about and how we felt it was going to meet those goals. And the things that I've been really proud of so far is the ways that we have brought in a ton of teams from a ton of different backgrounds to contribute towards this effort. The Compass Alliance teams recognize that this initiative is way bigger than just one of our teams. And that's really why we're doing it the way we are, is we feel like this program is going to be strongest when everybody's contributing and pulling their weight and making the Compass Alliance the best it could be. So the resources we've been able to put up, in particular the pathways that the Compass Alliance teams have written, have been really phenomenal from a learning perspective, and giving any team the ability to start from the ground floor, from level 0, and work their way up in experience in a myriad of different topics. But then beyond that, we've had so many teams come to us and ask to be a part of the help hubs, where we map out the locations of teams and the resources they can provide to other teams. We've had some really great experiences with our tag teams program, where we're pairing up experienced FRC teams with younger FRC teams to have kind of a big brother, little brother sort of situation going on, where they're helping each other out all season long. And then our call center is something that actually predates the Compass Alliance, but has been wrapped into the Compass Alliance now, and being a 24/7 resource for teams to go to ask urgent questions has been really valuable for a lot of teams around the world. And so what more than anything else, I'm really excited to be going into another season with the Compass Alliance. We started pretty last minute last year. We really didn't get everything together until October, November, and formalize things in the November timeframe. So having a whole summer and fall to prepare some of these new initiatives and bring more teams like Appreciate on board that bring so much knowledge to this initiative is something that I'm really excited about. And I just can't wait to see where things go from here, because we're always looking to bring in more teams, more passionate people that want to see the resources and knowledge base that FRC has be more accessible to more teams. So I just know it's going to get better from here. And that's probably what I'm most excited about.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with you on all fronts. Something that I know we had talked about earlier in this discussion, the whole like fail fast and learn. All of the teams and the people that have contributed to this one way or another have failed and failed and failed until they've learned. So the resources and the people and teams that are on this website helping have the just like best experience possible to give the best advice possible for, somebody that's either super far ahead and, in high school maybe and wants to learn more on their own. Like, there's information there for you, whether it's, technical or non-technical based. And at the same time, it could be a team in the most remote area that has nobody to really help them with certain things. Like, not only are there people available 24/7, there's teams like Mike was saying to help them. And then there's amazing resources. So I'm excited to see where it grows and where it goes. I know there's a lot of other great initiatives that have been popping up in the FRC community, but we've started to notice, and I'm sure a lot of really successful chairman's teams or just successful teams in general have realized that, the best way to succeed and grow is to work with other teams and learn from them. So I'm excited for that. So real quick, before we wrap up tonight's show, can we talk about the SACA? I'm not even sure what this is. Like, I'm excited to hear what it is.
It's pronounced SACOT.
SACOT, sorry.
Yes. No, you're good. And what SACOT is it's the STEM Advocacy Conference of Texas. It's basically a coalition of first teams who have come together to give high school students the resources they need to go and advocate to their legislators about their STEM education. And we've had a couple of conferences here at the Texas State Capitol, teaching first students how to advocate to their legislators, and then sending them off to their House of Representatives and their Senate representatives to talk about those platform issues and really tell them about their experience at first and how their legislators can vote on certain bills or support certain activities to support those activities like first. So we started SACOT here in Texas. We have 75 different first teams who are part of it. But we've also created this model to give to other states. So we have FACTA in Arizona and PACT in Pennsylvania, who are doing their own conferences and meeting with their legislators, and we mentor them constantly throughout the year to make sure that they can get up on the right foot and be able to do this in their own state. So
this is really fantastic. Like, Tyler's scrolling through this documentation and I'm just like sucked in. It looks amazing. It looks super clean, and like, you guys have done an amazing job packaging this. Like, I'm really interested now to go and read through this because it's something that we don't necessarily have in New England or Massachusetts. So
yeah,
I'm super impressed. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
And so you said 75 first teams. So
Yes.
Is that more than FRC? So it's a different
yes.
facets of the first program?
So it's also FTC teams and FRC teams. Any students in first who are high schoolers are part of it. So we have a couple of FTC teams and FRC teams who are part of it.
Thank you to all of our co-executive producers, keeping fun loud, live, and independent. Pledge your support at patreon.com/first updates now.